everybody has an origin story. Me, you, your next door neighbor, and yes, even Doctor Doom. So let's talk about it. Today we're diving into the origin story of this legendary character, exploring his background, his motivations, and key moments that define his complex and intriguing persona. From his humble beginnings to his rise as a powerful ruler, we'll examine just how Doctor Doom began and what drives him to be one of the greatest villains in the Marvel Universe. As we delve into this story, we'll uncover fascinating details that have captivated fans for decades. Whether you're a casual fan or a hardcore Marvel enthusiast, this exploration of Doctor Doom's origin is sure to provide a deeper understanding of this beloved character. So let's get into it and uncover the secrets behind one of Marvel's most beloved bad guys. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, the legendary creators of Doctor Doom, have always been fascinated by the character. They wanted to craft a villain who was not only intimidating, but also charismatic, intelligent, and driven by a sense of desire for greatness. Both Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's vision for Doctor Doom continues to inspire generations of writers, artists, and fans, cementing his place as one of the most iconic villains in comic book history. Their collaboration resulted in a character that has endured for decades, captivating audiences with his grandiose persona and intricate motivations. As we explore Doctor Doom's origin, it's essential to understand the creative vision behind his conception. Despite his villainous nature, Doctor Doom is a deeply human character with a rich emotional landscape. He's a character driven by a desire for power, but also by a deep sense of insecurity and fear. Victor Von Doom was born in the small European country of Latveria, a country with a rich history and complex politics, where he grew up in a family marked by tragedy. His mother, Cynthia Von Doom, was a witch who made a deal with the demon Mephisto, trading her soul for power and protection for her family. However, this power came at a terrible cost, and Cynthia was eventually consumed by Mephisto. A young Victor and his father fled on a cold winter's night, and Victor survived, but unfortunately his father succumbed to the winter weather. This traumatic event had a profound impact on Victor, shaping his worldview and driving him to seek power and control in a chaotic world. Despite his family's dark past, Victor was a brilliant and ambitious young man, driven to succeed at any cost. It was no secret that Victor's academic prowess was unmatched, and it earned him a scholarship to Empire State University, where he excelled in multiple fields, including science and technology. His thirst for knowledge drove him to explore darker paths, delving deep into the occult and experimenting with forbidden magic. While attending classes there, he met Reed Richards for the first time. The two men were intellectual peers and had debates that amazed faculty members, who compared their minds to Albert Einstein and Leonardo da Vinci. Doom was increasingly jealous of Reed's natural talents and effortless charm. It was during this time that Reed had designed a starship, while Victor became obsessed with finding his deceased mother. Using his knowledge of magic to try and contact her spirit, he eventually built a machine to visit the Nether Realm to try and reach his mother. This machine would essentially project your astral form into other dimensions. However, these experiments ultimately led to disaster, as Victor's arrogance and recklessness resulted in a catastrophic accident that left his face slightly scarred. Prior to this, Reed Richards had warned him about some miscalculations, but Doom didn't check them because of his arrogance. Victor was expelled for conducting unethical experiments, and his hatred for Reed was truly formed from this accident, blaming him for the scarring, his expulsion, and sabotaging the machine. Since most creators opt out of showing his face as a way to add mystery, there has become two different ideas on how bad the damage is. Creators of Doctor Doom himself, Jack Kirby, and Stan Lee's view was that Doom had one single scar on an otherwise handsome face. However, his arrogance and vanity was unable to accept even a small singular scar or imperfection. But here is how Kirby drew Doom taking off his mask. Not very noticeable, right? Now, the other interpretation is the face being so scarred that it is beyond what medical science can do. So there's a logical reason for him to choose to keep his face under a mask. There was actually a merging of both ideas, where the accident caused a single scar, but Doom hastily placed a metal mask on his face before it had a chance to cool down, resulting in horrific burns and the mask being seared onto his face. Here's what Jack Kirby had to say about his intention with Doom's very small scar on his face. Behind that steel mask, there's a very handsome guy, but there's one thing wrong with Doom. He's got a scratch on his chin, and he's frustrated. Without that little scratch, which kind of ruins his whole personality and supplies that lifelong frustration, that's what makes him the villain he is. So there you go. This incident marked a turning point in Victor's life, transforming him into the villainous Doctor Doom. He traveled the world and eventually came to a Tibetan village of monks who assisted in creating him a suit of armor. After this, he returned to Latveria, where he overthrew the leader and made himself king. He would use the country's resources to further his his plans of world domination and lead him on a trajectory that would place him into conflict with the Fantastic Four and countless other Marvel characters, not just heroes. As Doctor Doom, Victor's focus shifted from personal recognition to global domination. He saw himself as a superior being, destined to rule over the world and reorder it according to his design. Now, in Doctor Doom's first appearance in Fantastic Four number 5 in July of 1962, Doom made his entrance by holding Sue Storm hostage and forcing the rest of the team to use his time platform to travel back in time and retrieve the stones of Merlin. Mr. Fantastic became the perfect foil to Doctor Doom's ambitions, representing everything that Victor despised about the world. The rivalry was fueled by a deep-seated hatred, with Doctor Doom seeing Mr. Fantastic as a constant reminder of his own perceived shortcomings. The animosity between Doctor Doom and Mr. Fantastic would drive many of their actions, shaping the course of their lives and the Marvel Universe. This rivalry serves as a testament to the complexity of Doctor Doom's character, revealing a deeper sense of insecurity and vulnerability beneath his intimidating persona. Stan Lee would always talk about how technically Doctor Doom isn't a criminal at all. He says, what did Doctor Doom really want? He wanted to rule the world. Now think about this. You could walk across the street against a traffic light and get a summons for jaywalking, but you could walk up to a police officer and say, I want to rule the world, and there's nothing he can do about it. That is not a crime. Anybody can want to rule the world. So even though he was the Fantastic Four's greatest menace, in my mind, he was never a criminal. In conclusion, Doctor Doom's origin story is a complex tapestry of events, motivations, and relationships that have shaped one of Marvel's most intriguing villains. From his traumatic childhood to his rise as a powerful ruler, we've explored the intricacies of his character, revealing a deeper understanding of what drives him to be the ultimate power seeker. Doctor Doom is such a fantastic character. In part 1 of this series, we talked about Victor's psychology, what really goes on in his head, what are his motivations, his weaknesses, and today we talked about the complex and fascinating origin story of Victor, how he got to where he is now, the beginning of his rivalry with Reed Richards, and how he got his armor. And in part 3, we're going to dive deep into the powers and abilities of Victor Von Doom. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Alright everybody, that wraps it up for today. What do you think of Doctor Doom's origin story? Do you like the idea of a small scar or a majorly disfigured face underneath the mask? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to check out our other videos for more nerdy juiciness. Thanks for watching everybody, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.